please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance? All three of you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Mr. Rossi, would you please read the public
No,
notice?
let's do a roll call first.
Oh, I don't want to do roll call. I hate the roll call. We all are here.
Mr. Cook?
Here.
Mr. Rogan?
Here.
Ms. Smith? Here. Mr. Williams?
Here. Mr. Rossi, if you would please.
I would. Legal notice, October 11, 2019. Notice of budget hearing, Town of Patterson. Notice is hereby given that the Town Board of the Town of Patterson, Putnam County, New York, will conduct a public hearing on the preliminary budget for the fiscal year beginning January 1, 2020, on Wednesday, October 23, 2019, at 7 p.m. or as soon thereafter as can be heard, and at that time, any person may be heard in favor or against any item. Pursuant to Section 108 of the Town Law, proposed salaries of certain town officers are hereby specified as follows. Supervisor, including all stipends, budget officer, $95,628. Town clerk, again, includes all stipends, and registrar, $73,653. Town board, 3 members, $20,124 each. Deputy supervisor, of which there is one, $22,581. 2 justices of the Justice Court, $37,128 each. Highway superintendent, again including all stipends, who also serves as refuse administrator, $111,581. Receiver of taxes, $66,079. A copy of the preliminary budget will be on file in the office of the town clerk on October 11, 2019, and available for inspection by any interested person during normal business hours. By order of the town board, Antoinette Kopek, town clerk.
I would ask that anybody who has any comments on the budget, if they would approach the mic, and please give your name for the record. Ask what questions you may.
Charlie, can you take one of these and pass one down? Mary, please. Motion to close public hearing.
I have one.
Before we do that, I would like to just acknowledge that we did receive one letter from a Mr. Bruce Major, who raised some questions about funding within the budget. He was looking to ensure that there was funding in the budget for both the master plan. We've had the discussion about we are hiring a planner this year to take on that responsibility. He also raised a couple of other raised an issue in a couple of other areas where he thought funding should be increased to provide for additional programs. One has to do with the septic cleanout program, and the other has to do with cell towers within the community. The board's reviewed them, reviewed his requests, his recommendations, and I'm sure we're going to have a little bit of discussion on them as things go forward. I also want to say that this has been a particularly difficult year trying to accomplish some of the things that we were. And at this time, we are looking at a 1.81% increase in the total budget spending. So I'm very pleased with that number, and I would like to congratulate the board on all the hard work that they've done in trying to get, keep below the 2% tax cap, as well as our controller, Patricia Brooks. That being said, I'm going to address a couple of issues later on. I was hoping to adopt this budget tonight, but I think we're going to have to put it off a little bit because a couple of additional issues have come up, which I'll address later.
Rich, I have to raise something also, Rich.
Sure.
The notice specifies or states that the budget is for the fiscal year beginning January 1, 2019. And if this is the way that it was published, then it would be a problem.
I think that's the way it was published. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Is that a sufficient defect that we need to renotice?
I think it's obvious that this is a public hearing for the 2020 budget. I might want to reserve decision on whether we consider it substantial enough. I don't, my gut reaction is it's obvious and would not really be prejudicial because I don't think anyone reading the paper would think it was for the 2019 budget.
Yeah.
So
We renotice it.
since the.
I can tell you, it's not my recommendation we adopt this budget tonight. We can do
Right.
this again in 2 weeks if everybody would so like.
That would be the way to do it. That'd be to
You want to get
renotice
a motion
it.
to close?
Or close or continue.
Yeah.
If we hold it open,
Hold it open, renotice it, and we'll make, and in the notice, we should specify that
I'll move that
a
we,
typographical error occurred in the last one.
I just want to correct that one thing for on the rec. We adjusted the rate for Sierra Mayhew for 2019, so I wanted to adjust it in the 2020 budget. So her rate would go from, in the 2020, from $13 to $13.30, making her equal with the rest of the staff at that level. And it would increase the staff line $20, and then we would just take it off of the adjustment line $20. So it's a net even, but it's 2020. Okay?
all right, thank you.
So I'll move that we keep the public hearing on the 2020 budget open through next meeting. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Okay, would somebody like to audit the bills?
I would like to make a motion to approve abstract number 19 dated October 11th, 2019 in the amount of $525,174.61. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We actually have two budget transfers and one budget adjustment, correct? So if somebody'd like to move those?
Yeah, I'll do it. I'll make a motion that the town board approve the following. Budget adjustment request number 25, which is moving money, increasing capital projects other, Putnam County revenue account to $6,000, and increasing environmental equipment and capital outlay, $7,000, and decreasing environmental control contractual, $1,000. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Budget transfer request number 26, judgment and claims contractual tax certiorari, moving $131 from other contractual to judgments and claims contractual of $131. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Next, budget adjustment request 27, library fund tax certiorari, increasing the appropriated fund balance. Let me see something, transfer request, funds, judgment and claims, okay. Appropriated fund balance $199, increasing judgments and claims tax certiorari $199. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Ms. Smith, you are up.
Oh, okay. First item on my agenda is the snow bids for the sidewalks, for the winter sidewalk maintenance. I have a resolution in front of me here for the, we've accepted the bid from Colonial Town Landscaping for our winter sidewalk maintenance and snow removal services for the 1920 season. So I'd like to make a motion to enter this resolution into the record as though read in the amount of $24,825 for a lump sum bid for Colonial Town Landscaping. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Okay. We have another bid here for snow removal for the sewer and water districts. This resolution is for, once again, Colonial Town Landscaping for the snow removal services at the Alpine Acres Water Treatment Plant, the Dorset Hollow Water Treatment Plant, and the Hamlet Sanitary Sewer District Wastewater Treatment Plant for the 1920 season. Like to enter this resolution into the record as though read for a lump sum. We've decided lump sum? Okay, in the amount of $15,575 going to Colonial Town Landscaping LLC. I'd just like to, so this will get entered into the record as though read with the revision to take out the per storm, right?
Yes.
Staying with the lump sum. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
What else do I have here? Oh, garage doors, okay. So we are in need of garage doors over at the Veterans Memorial Park. It looks like Mr. Downey was kind enough to get some price quotes for us, and the lowest bidder was Bill Reynolds Jr., garage doors. So I'd like to make a motion to approve in the amount not to exceed more than $925 for the garage doors for over at Veterans Memorial Park. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. It's nice to know that the bidder was a local.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
always like when that happens.
I'm all done. Pete's fine.
Charles?
You're up.
Anything? Anything else?
Nope,
Nope.
I'm good.
Next, we have the draft for the 2020 Town Board meeting schedule. I would just ask my colleagues to review this, especially relative to the work sessions, the start time, maybe if you feel it should be adjusted because of your work schedule or personal time. Let's give that information to Sue Brown before next meeting, and I would ask that this be brought back on the agenda for next meeting. Okay?
Sure.
Next. Right. We have a waiver request to use the rec center by the Putnam Community Action Program. They're asking us to waive a rental fee of $125. We went through a similar thing like this last meeting. It was a private person who requested it. I'm going to read a resolution that approves waiving this fee. And basically, we had a review by our municipal attorneys, and it can be a gray area, but we are looking at this as a public purpose. So with that in mind, I will read the resolution so it's clear. Whereas Putnam County Action Partnership, Putnam CAP, is a non-for-profit organization with the public purpose of serving the residents of Putnam County to combat poor health, hunger, highly unemployment, and homelessness. And whereas the Putnam County Action Partnership wishes to hold their annual volunteer appreciation breakfast at the Patterson Recreation Center on December 10th, 2019 at 9 a.m., at which time volunteers from our community serving CAP program will be recognized. Whereas the Town Board of the Town of Patterson, in recognition of public service that Putnam CAP provides to our community, wishes to host the Volunteer Appreciation Breakfast. Now therefore, be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Patterson hereby approves the use of the Patterson Recreation Center to host the Putnam County Action Partnership Volunteer Appreciation Breakfast on December 10th, 2019, and be it further resolved that the town supervisor is hereby authorized and directed to take any and all actions and execute any and all documents necessary to give effect to this resolution consistent with the terms hereof. So I'll make a motion. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Okay. Holiday separation, celebration. All right. Oh. Where did I lose that? Who has that?
You go, Chuck.
All right, thank you very much.
Yeah, but you need this. You got that one. All right.
We have a request relative to annual employee holiday party, which we recognize and all have a good time. And the supervisor this year will keep his comments down to an hour and a half. And so I will make a motion that the town board approve the employee holiday party in an amount not to exceed $1,200, basically the same as last year, for the party on December 20th?
Yeah.
Yes, okay. If people bring in a guest, they will pay. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Sean,
That's it for me.
Mr. Rogan, you're on bat.
Thank you.
You're on deck. You're
Okay,
up to
I'm
bat.
up.
We'll get
Okay,
there.
That's all right. First off, we have a request from Matt Chabaro to hire Cassidy Speller as a senior staff member for the Patterson Rec Department at a rate of $12.30 per hour. Matt says that Cassidy spent the summer as a lifeguard with the town of Patterson and was an exceptional person in that role, and thinks that he'll be a great addition to the rec center family. So I will move that we approve Matt's request to hire Cassidy Speller as referenced in the memo. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Matt also wants to let the town know and get approval for the 2019 and 20 youth basketball program rates. They are $100 for the first child within a family, $90 per additional sibling, and there are jerseys available if needed at a rate of $15. So I'll move that we approve Matt's pricing for youth basketball for 2019 to 20. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Matt also would like to purchase 100 moisture-wicking custom reversible jerseys. The low bidder in this case was YBA Shirts, so I'll make a motion that we approve his request at an amount not to exceed $1,417 to YBA Shirts. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. And lastly, Matt just wants to let everyone know that, again, this year's Fall Festival will be Saturday, October 26th from 12 to 5 p.m. at the Rec Center. This is a yearly event that draws a lot of great folks from Patterson to the Rec Center for all kinds of free family fun day type events. They have lots of community groups. There are Sheriff's Department present for child safety programming, demonstrations by Putnam Service Dogs, Patterson Library, the Silver Starlets, and community groups such as Vet to Vet, Patterson Library, Putnam Humane Society, etc. So great event at the Rec Center this Saturday from 12 to 5 p.m. Come one, come all. Okay, so that's for the Rec Center. Next up, the board will recall that over the last so many years we have had significant issues with the water supply system at Fox Run condos. We've gone through a number of well pumps, and our supervisor has been in close contact with not only our water operator but also local contractors that we've used for repairs over the years. Essentially what this gets back down to is a concern for water volume to be supplied to the folks at Fox Run. They have looked at a series of different proposals, and there is more to follow, but essentially know that there are many different approaches that are being considered, such as things like making existing wells deeper, hydrofracking to possibly open up additional veins of water, and that is being compared against the potential expense of drilling new wells on site. So our town supervisor has been diligent at seeking our best course of action, and I think we will have more quotes because this is a sizable investment, but one that's necessary. I mean, Obviously, at the end of the day, we need to supply potable water in the proper volume to the residents of Fox Run. So, Rich, thank you for the work that you've done, and the explanation you provided when we've spoken has been great. And I think that you are on absolutely the right path to serving the residents out there in the best possible way.
Thank you. I just want to point out, I provided the board with a quote for getting one of the existing wells out there, perhaps back in service, but that would only be a portion of the cost of doing this because there are no electric lines, there's no well lines, there's no pump in, well, there is a pump, but it's not serviceable. So we'd have to replace the pump. We'd have to run all new electric lines, water lines, all the way from this well down to the plant. There are a couple of other expenses associated with this. So this cost that you have in front of you is only probably about 40%.
It's a significant investment, but
It is.
I don't know that we have a whole lot of other option. You know, even if we were to drill a new well, you're looking at all the same hookup costs, running, trenching, and, you know.
I've been quoted a new well at 60,000.
Yeah.
So,
Next, we have a resolution for hourly maintenance and repair for our heating and ventilation and cooling system. Our building and maintenance supervisor, Dennis Mays, has recommended that we enter into an agreement with HRR Industries at a rate of $125 an hour, which through the procurement process seems to be the lowest rate that we've had in many years. So I will make a motion to approve the resolution and enter it into the record as though read in its entirety to hire HRR Industries at a rate of $125 an hour. So moved.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye. Thank you.
Okay. So first up is Voice America contract renewal. This is our phone system. I know Mary's a big fan of our phone system, but we do need a contract for servicing in case anything does happen to our phone system. We have a resolution approving a one-year contract, which runs from August 1st through July 31st, 2020, for an amount of $1,584. I'd like to move this resolution and ask that it be entered into the minutes as though read.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
2020 budget. We had the public hearing a few minutes ago on the 2020 budget. I was hoping we were done with the 2020 budget, but a couple of things have come up in the past few days, one of them being Fox Run, which may ultimately affect the budget, which we need to work through some numbers before we actually move on this. The second thing is I received yesterday a letter from Robert Tendy, our district attorney, who is informing me that due to the new discovery laws that have been imposed by the New York State Legislature, that his staff is going to be subject to a greatly increased workload. And as a result, they are not sure that they are going to be able to prosecute certain V&T violations and misdemeanors that they've been prosecuting in the past. And as a result, he is asking local municipalities to take over that responsibility. Asking is a kind word. I have a meeting scheduled with Mr. Tendy next Tuesday, so I will be able to clarify exactly what he is asking of the town of Patterson. We are currently prosecuting in V&T court all the V&T traffic tickets with our prosecutor, as well as certain misdemeanors. So I'm not exactly sure if this is anything additional, whether he's asking us to take over the criminal courts that are occurring before our Patterson Justice Court, which in that case would double the cost of our prosecutor and be a significant financial hit on the budget. So I will have more information next Tuesday, but for now I'm just going to table the 2020 budget until next meeting, which we're having a public hearing on as well.
So the state funnels it down to the county funnels it down to us good people.
Yes. Yes.
There's a
State
simple
funding.
solution.
Unfunded mandate.
That's
But Charlie, there's a simple solution. All we have to do is ask our Patterson residents to not get in trouble. If they don't get in trouble, we don't have any cases to prosecute.
Fortunately, we're prosecuting from outside of our jurisdiction. So I will ask that we hold off on the executive session until the end of the meeting. It has to do with two issues, personnel and a legal issue. And I do have one item being, as it were, at other business that I'd like to bring up to the board. As everybody is aware, we are currently constructing a stormwater retrofit project over at Veterans Park. We are doing some design work on the fly. There was supposed to be a single arch pipe, which was very expensive to run from the end of North Street over to the pond. We've been able to redesign that using twin 24-inch pipes, which is a significant cost reduction in the project. But at the same time, we've identified that we need to increase the linear foot of the curtain drain we're putting in. So I have change order number 1 that I would ask the board to approve. There is actually no change in the contract price because we're trading the 24-inch pipes for the additional curtain drain. So I'd like to move that we approve change order number 1. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And that is it. Anybody else have any other business? Any member of the public wishes to be recognized? Any one of you four? Hearing none.
5, Paul.
5, I'm sorry, Paul. Paul's working, he's not a member of the public.
Motion to go into executive session.
Spit it out.
I know.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you all for coming.